Wa amruhu ila Allah. And this case is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَنْ عَادَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ. And whoever repeated, then those are the companions of the hellfire. Those are the people who will go to hell. Hum fiha khalidun, and they will abide there forever. So they will live there forever. They will not get out of it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, if you have taken interest or riba and in the past, then from now onwards don't repeat it. If somebody repeats it, then these are the people of hellfire. So now let's understand riba a little bit. There are, so in Tafsir, there are two types of riba that are mentioned. It is of two major kinds. Riba an-nasiya, which is interest on lent money. So you give someone money and you say, okay, you can take this money, and then after a certain time, you have to pay me. If I give you 100, you have to give me 120 or 110 extra. So this 10 or 20 extra money on top of money is interest. Riba al-fadl is the second type, is taking a superior thing of the same kind of goods by giving more of the same kind of goods of inferior quality. So for example, you give someone, here the example is of dates. So you have dates, you give them for a certain time, but you ask them later that I want better dates which are more expensive, so more value after a certain time. So you're giving them a loan, but you're asking for more money. So let's understand this example now in detail. And I want you guys, and I want to tell you a story of a guy called Abdullah. Are you all with me? Because this story of Abdullah is very important. Are you all with me?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes, sir.
Alhamdulillah. So now we
Alhamdulillah.
start the story of Abdullah. So he wants to do some trading. Abdullah wants to do some trading. Trading means he wants to buy stuff and sell stuff. And when he buys something, he will earn some profit and he will sell it for a profit. But the thing is, he doesn't have money. So what does Abdullah do? Abdullah asks a person, or these days it can be a bank, to give him money. So now on the left side, there is a person, or let's say a bank, who have extra money. And on the right, we have Abdullah. He wants to start his own business of trade and he wants money from them. Now this person or this bank says, I will give you 100. It can be 100 riyal, rupees, whatever. I'm just giving you an example. I will give you 100, but you will have to return 120 after 1 month. So I'm giving you 100 right now. Take this, do your business, but you will have to return 120 after 1 month. This additional 20 is interest. So this additional money is interest. And this person or this bank is saying, I don't care, you make profit, loss, whatever happened to your business, I want this 20. So this 20 is now riba or interest. Now Abdullah wants to do his business. So he buys two products, let's say. And because he had 100, so he bought two of them at 50 each. So one product cost him 50, he got two. So now he has spent his 100 that he took from that lender or bank. Because he's doing business, so he has to add some profit, because he has to earn profit and he has to feed his family as well. So he adds his own profit of 20 on each product. So original price was 50. He adds 20 to each product. 50 plus 20 is 70. Multiplied by 2 is almost, it's 140. Okay. So now the total price of both products after adding the cost, which is 100 at which he purchased, adding his profit 20 on each product, let's say, it's an example. So 20 plus 20. So the cost moved from 100 to 140. And now this is the price of 140 for these two products that he wants to sell it. But wait, there's a thing. He has to pay 20 as well. So he adds it to the price because he's owning this 20. He has to pay it back to the bank or the person who's giving him the loan as interest. So now he says, okay, I have to give 20 and I have two products. Let me distribute it 10 and 10 equally. So 50 original price, 20 his own profit, 10 is the interest. Overall, the price of two goods becomes 160. The price without interest or without this amount that was asked was 140. But now the price is total 160. So far, is everything clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very clear.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. So he got 100. He had to pay back 120. He added 20 his profit. The total price became 140. But then he remembered, no, I have to pay the interest for sure. So he adds 20 price to it and becomes 160. So what happens? Now Abdullah has to sell two products for 160 versus 140 because 20 is the interest. So he goes to the market. He goes to the market with a more expensive product, which is 160 versus 140. 20 more is interest. Now, when he goes to the market, the people are a bit unhappy because it is too much for them for probably to pay. So now they have to pay 160. Maybe they could have paid 140 and it was easier for them. So he finds it difficult to sell and everything, but he has to sell it at 160 versus if there was no interest, he could have sold it for 140, which would be better for people. Okay. So this 20 extra interest, which is to be paid back to the lender, is a pressure on Abdullah because he's always thinking in his business, I have to pay the 20 extra that I have taken. And this results in high price for all the people in the market because he puts this 20 as a cost of his product, so it becomes 160, and now everyone in the market has to pay 160. So this becomes a pressure on people, right? So they have to now pay more for the same good that they could have gotten for 140. Now the lender, the bank or the person who gave the money, he already had 100 to give away. He becomes richer and richer and he takes no risk. He just gave his 100 and he will get 20 on top of it. So all the people in the market are paying Abdullah, who's paying back the lender, sorry, and the lender or the bank, the person who gave the money, gets 100 and he gets 20. So the additional pressure, additional price that was put on people and there was pressure on Abdullah is being used to make this person, one person who already had 100 and extra money, richer. So this is an issue. If this continues in the society and everybody lends the money like this, then the rich people become richer and poor people become poorer because poor people have to pay money, and people like Abdullah who's trading and everything else, they have to add it in their cost. They have no choice because it's fixed. They have to pay the rich people back the money, so they become richer and richer, and these can be people or these can be banks. Is the concept clear so far? I will now show you what is the other way, how Islam wants us to do it, how we can avoid riba. So far it is clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir, please repeat it because the internet is very slow, so I couldn't understand.
No problem. I will repeat it for you because this is important. So I will wait for the slide to appear. So,
Jazakallah.
Wayyaka, no problem. I will repeat it as many times as you guys want, so don't worry about it. So I was saying he goes to the market with more expensive product, 160 versus 140, because he has to pay 20 more interest. Is this part clear? That the 20 interest was added to the price overall? Is this clear?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
So this 20 interest has to be paid back to the lender. And because the price was up, because the price was from 140 to 160, and who's paying the price? The people in the market, right? So for them, they have to pay 20 extra. Abdullah will take this 20 from the market and give it back to the lender. The lender had to do nothing. He was already rich. He had extra 100 and he forced Abdullah to give him 20 back on top of this 100. So now he's making more money on top of money on top of money. 100 becomes 120. He gives another loan. It becomes grows. So when this thing happens, the rich or the bank or the people who are giving out loans based on interest, they become richer and richer and richer. And the poor people who or people like Abdullah who have to pay this interest and it's part of the price now, they become poorer. Is this now clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. Now let's see how Islam wants us to operate, how we should do it. And by the way, I am just trying to explain you guys only one example of riba. And this is a very simple example just to explain the concept why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that riba is, it's bad and, the people will be put into hellfire. So I want to explain to you guys only one concept so you understand the problem that interest creates. And if interest is not there, then what is the benefit? So let's look at it now, the case, what is Islam's way? So Mr. Abdullah again, he wants to do trading. He will buy and sell products and he doesn't have money. He goes to the lender or the bank and he asks him to give him money. This time, This person says, I will give you 100, and if you make profit or loss, my share will be 20%. So he's not forcing him to give back 20. He's saying, if you make profit or loss, there will be my share. So now he is giving the option, I mean, to Abdullah, and now Abdullah can operate his business peace of mind because it's not a fixed thing he has to pay 20. So what will Abdullah do? He will buy two products, 50 each, 50 times 2, 100. Abdullah will add his profit of 20. As we saw in the previous example, the price will become 140. But this time, Abdullah will not be forced to add 20 interest to it. So the price stays 140. The price will not become 160 because the lender has given him convenience and flexibility. Listen, Abdullah, my brother, my friend, if you make profit, then only you can give me some share. It can be 20%, or 50%, 10%, whatever they both agree. It can be any amount. But the point here is there is no pressure on Abdullah to add that 20. And now the arrangement is flexible. So what will happen again? Mr. Abdullah will go to the market, and the product will be less expensive for all the people in the market. It will be 140 versus the previous example that we saw, 160, with no interest, no loan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts his barakah. Abdullah, inshallah, will be able to sell all his products. He shares his profit with the lender based on whatever they agreed. So let's say he made 40 real or rupees or whatever. He will give some of it based on the arrangement. The lender will be happy because he will get some profit out of his money, and it will be fair. It will be based on trade. There is no pressure on Abdullah. And the people also, the masses, will be happy with lower price. I gave you this example in one case. Imagine the full society. Imagine all the people in the world, all the business that are happening and everything. How much pressure interest puts on the society. Now, again, I'm repeating, this is a simple example just to share you the concept of interest and why it is not beneficial for the society and for the people, so that you guys understand and take this action. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. So Islam's way is distribution of wealth. Meaning, in the previous example, we saw the rich people were becoming richer. They were giving away money and asking, no, I want on top interest for it, regardless of how your business does. Give me this money. So the rich were becoming richer, and poor people were bearing more costs. They had to pay more and they were becoming poorer. In this example, we saw everyone was happy. People had to pay less. Abdullah had no pressure, and the bank or the lender, they also got their profit. So Islam's way is distribution of wealth. Wealth should be distributed, which is why we also have zakat. Zakat is a different concept. Zakat is on hoarded money. If you have money, extra money that you haven't utilized, you have to pay zakat. We will discuss zakat at in a later lesson, inshallah. But what I was trying to say is here, the Islam believes in distribution of wealth. So more and more people should get access to wealth, to food, to clothes, to everything nice and all of this. And it should not be that there is a division in society, that there are more and more and more people who are consuming interest and riba and all of this, and they are becoming wealthier, while the poor and poor and poor, they are burned under the burden of this interest. So I really hope and pray that this is very clear to you guys, because yes, Aziz, there's a raised hand. Go ahead, Aziz.
What do you call this? The Islamic way of doing it?
This is the way. I mean, this is non-riba way. So you can give this loan, or you can give this as we call it, qarz. So this is also in several Islamic banks. Islamic banking have started to do it. There's a lot of work that is happening in this way as well. So this is basically Sharia law of how you should do business and how you should give out loans. And by the way, giving away loans, there are more ayahs coming our way. So even that, how you should give away and how you should make it easy for people. But I think it's a very interesting question from you, Aziz, because we know the interest and all of this and banking and all of this is so much prevalent. But yes, so this is this is the Sharia way of doing business and lending people money. Okay, so the action for us
No,
is
I have another.
yes, go ahead.
I've
Go ahead.
my question was that what is it like called? Like the name of loaning the extra part, it's interest. So
It's
then like what?
interest. So there should be zero interest in giving loans. That's what it's
I
called.
know. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you for
Excellent.
answering my question.
Good. So the action for us is what? We have to understand riba and interest around us. Inshallah, you guys, teenagers, and most of you are probably earning or will start to earn very soon. You will have nice jobs and you'll be doing businesses. Please try to understand the concept of riba and interest and try to stay away from it, because there are some very harsh ayahs coming. And we know why these harsh ayahs are coming, because of the pressure that it puts on the overall society. So we have to spend in the way of Allah, give easy loans to people, and our intent should be purely to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.